Hi guys, we're here at the beach on this really beautiful spring day. As you can hear, all these are singing. Well, they've stopped now that I pointed them out. Maybe they're shy. The reason we came down here is for the yarrow harvest. So yarrow is one of my absolute favorite plants, and I'm right here with him. You can see that it's just coming into bloom, so all of the strength is in this plant is going into its flowers, and you'll usually find it in margin area. So like this is mowed where we are, and then next to it you can start to see the shrubs, and then on the other side of this is a salt marsh. So this is a particularly challenging environment. The soil is very sandy and also salt. Yarrow grows best in adversity, so the harsher the habitat, the stronger the medicine of this plant. And so that's why we're here in a particularly harsh environment for the yarrow. And the way you is I use a knife, and you want to gather enough of the plant that you get the top, but also not so much that it doesn't have at least a few green leaves to continue to grow with, because this is a perennial. So even though we've just chopped the head off of this, it will grow again next year. You also want to leave a few, so like this one hasn't bloomed yet, so we're not going to pick this one, and we're not going to pick this one because this one hasn't bloomed yet either. This one still is mostly closed, so we're going to leave this one. But we are going to take these that are like glowing in the sun, because they are nice and open, but still just freshly opened. Cool. Yarrow is a really great coagulant, so every time you get like a cut, if you chew a little bit of this up and then put it on the cut, it will help staunch the bleeding almost immediately. It also makes a great tea for when you're sick and you've got a fever. It'll help bring that down. Another thing that it's really good for is a cough. Also bad dreams and nightmares. This plant is said to protect you from both of those things. So if you're having some trouble sleeping, try a little bit of yarrow tea and also smelling it before you go to sleep at night. Another thing that this is really good for is protection. So this plant is incredibly antimicrobial, and the Latin name, or at least the first part of the Latin name, Achillea, comes from the legend that Achilles used to use this to treat wounds on the battlefields, and that way his soldiers would not bleed out and would be able to continue to fight. It also says that this plant will grow anywhere blood has been spilt, and that's another easy way to remember its great coagulant properties. So I'm going to pick a little more yarrow for myself. I try and pick about this much, this round sort of area between my forefinger and my thumb every year, and that's enough yarrow for me for the whole year. And that's how I would encourage you to measure for yourself the first time if you're thinking about keeping this plant in your cupboard for use. Also, you can dry it really well, so that's why we're picking so much. Like, it dries really easily, and it keeps very well in a nice airtight container. So that's my little introduction for yarrow for you all, Achillea millifolium, and he's one of my favorite plants. So thank you for listening.